like that. Alabama State 5.9 if UCLA. You probably exhausted that in the flight going all the way across the country. Bethune
Wow.
Cookman, I don't even know what their payout is. We still trying to find out that. Alabama A&M 300,000 as well to play against UAB.
Which ain't bad, though. I'll tell you why.
If we're gonna get our butt kicked, shouldn't it be worth it? How in the world are we selling for the peanuts and the little minute droppings that they're giving us when everybody's darn near 600,000? Should we get together and huddle up as a HBCU and say we're not playing these beat down games unless we get this? Now,
And stop right there. So, I mean, just think about that.
Interesting.
So, Marshall gets 1.5. Now, Texas A&M, Notre Dame, or who they? I'm not sure they pay App State. That's different because App State is almost the same level. But Notre Dame assumed they was going to beat Marshall, right? These other schools, I guess the Elon schools at that level, they assume they're going to beat those schools. So they give them 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
If they assume they're going to beat Alabama A&M or North Carolina Central, whatever, why can't we get 1.5 too? Because the fans coming to the game, they're not coming to see A&M or Alabama A&M or Central. They come to see their home school.
That's right.
So they're gonna generate revenue off of that anyway. Texas A&M going to put 110,000 people up there to see them play App State. They didn't expect to lose to App State.
No.
So I'm with Deon on that one. So now there's a slippery slope because $380,000 and Alabama A&M don't have to drive an hour and 20 minutes to Birmingham. That's a good look.
That's a good look.
I mean that's not a bad look at all. But Alabama State got to travel from Montgomery all the way to UCLA for 500-some-thousand. I don't know. It may even out. By the way, North Carolina Central is doing the same thing next year. They're going to UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with Prime in terms of that should be a standard. I mean, a minimum when you're going out to these schools like that. Where let's start at $1 million. Let's start there first.
That can really make a difference.
Because it's not about who you playing. It's about how much money you making at the gate because people showing up in those early games. First couple of games, everybody wants to see their new team. They're going to show up and pay that money. So when you give us $1 million or 1.5, it shouldn't even matter. You still get your paper. You give it to the other schools.
That's true.
Why treat us different? So there's a lot more to the story. And again, Alabama A&M and South Carolina State and all the family, they need the money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other part that some of the chancellors may frown upon, Deon said, we should have $1 million and all of it should go to the athletic department.
Oh, wow.
And not to the school. Now, you can have some chancellors say, they was good with it until you said that.
Yeah, right. You might be stretching it there.
The chancellors want that money so they can do what they want to do with it. So, interesting. So let's come in. Those are my feelings. How you guys feel about
more
that?
to that story, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it should be, equitable
Mm-hmm.
if they're going to be playing the schools. So why give? It's just such a disparity in the amounts given as what he was listing.
So you said Carolina gave FAMU 400?
450.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, of course, with Prime. I've always said that they should demand to be treated equitably.
Mm-hmm.
They should demand to be. Put it this way: know your value, know your worth, right, and demand nothing less. Now, one of the things I will say, I see a common theme here a little bit, is not just because they're PWIs and not HBCUs, but their conferences. Was it Sun Belt Conference? I think that's what they were. App State, Marshall, some.
Yeah.
So they were all some. I think their conference leaders probably had some input to that. Probably had some impact to that, to say helping negotiate some of the outcomes on some of these contracts. Possibly, I don't know that for sure, but I have a feeling that their conference had some weight behind it. I believe the SWAC and other conferences should have some weight saying, hey, let me reach out to the Big Ten and et cetera and say, hey, look, if you guys are going to be scheduling my guys,
Mm-hmm.
you need to, we need to make sure we're compensated appropriately for some of these expenses.
Yeah.
Because we're not just going to be flying all over the country, just like Deon said, and at a deficit.
Right.
There's no way you should put your put your programs in peril at risk like that, and know that you're going to come back and really at the end of the day, all you really made was $300,000 or $250,000, maybe.
Right.
Basically, you made fish fry money. You made car wash money.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can, but that's no, but because you're not helping yourself when it comes to overall negotiations for TV contracts, other things, because you set the precedent that I'll take peanuts. You set the precedent that I'm not worth anything other than $200,000, $300,000. So how can you expect to get a $200 million, television deal when they know, that's not what you do. That's not what you demand. That's not what your product demands.
That's true. And one of the things, I think it also depends on the school and the size of the school, because for some schools, $200,000
It's a lot of money.
is a lot of money.
I was going to mention
Coming
that.
from a fundraising side, that's a lot of money
$250,000,
to have to raise.
a lot of money,
So it's kind of, it depends.
The only,
Yeah.
Well, you don't think $250,000 is a lot of money to
That's not
North Carolina Central?
That's not the issue. The issue is, are you worth more than that?
No, but I know that's not the issue. But you were saying turn down that money, and that's.
I didn't say turn it down. I said you're worth more than that.
Okay,
so you should demand more. Than
right, and that's what Deon said. But my point is that the problem is that unless you have a unified front, that's going to fall apart. Everybody's got to be on the same page. Because to your point, if North Carolina A&T big school said, well, we got to have $1 million, or else then they go and call, I don't know, Fayetteville State or somebody like that.
Livingstone.
Livingstone.
We need $200,000.
Hey, $200 changed my life.
Yeah.
So it has to be and those are Division twos, but I'm talking about Division one schools like North Carolina Central, of course, Fayetteville State Division two.
That's why I say conference leadership probably should play a bigger role, because that's where you get unified fronts. Because of course schools are going to look out for their own self-interest, right? But that's also why you have conference leadership, so that they can weigh in and say, as a collective, it is better for us. Like Deon just said it. As HBCU, we should get together.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
They have a czar. They have a czar that's leading the pack for. He said he'll do it. And but the problem is that you got to get all these chancellors and presidents to agree to it.
Yeah.
And what's good for one chancellor may not be good for another one. That's not going to, even this communication about having a super conference with Justice SWAC and the MEAC combined together. It has been some conversation. Somebody told me that would never happen because the chancellors never let that happen.
Should that be difficult though? Isn't that the role of the conference leadership? Though, think about it.
What's the role?
To gather, to bring them together, to act as a collective in a sense, not because you still have your individual school demands, but that should be the demand on the conference leadership. See what I'm saying? We should look to the conference leadership for all these conferences to say, yeah, I know I'm, FAMU, I know I'm cool with 4 because of what it cost me to do it and what I could do there. But that doesn't mean it's the right thing for the collective. So the conference leadership should step in and say, no, you know what? You're right. We should all demand X, and this should be what we do. And also, I think they should reach out to the other conferences like the Big Ten, et cetera. Say, look, if we're gonna play these games, right? With you guys, it's got to be equitable.
Right.
I mean, I know FAMU or whoever took 350, 450, whatever.
450,
yeah. But that doesn't make it right. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make it right.
And you said Central's flying to.
Yeah, they're going to UCLA. I'm curious how much that's going to be because they gave Alabama State 500,000, and I don't know how much it costs to fly everybody out there, but yeah.
But FAMU had to fly here. Did they fly?
FAMU had to fly here, and but I guess again, you got to get it all because again, like A&T, which is not in the MEAC anymore, Hamptons was not in the MEAC anymore. That's a different level. But if you look at if you look at Bethune-Cookman's and the Florida A&M's and of course Southern and Grambling and those schools. They may have different opinions about it because what's good for you may not be good for me.
Deon was like, he couldn't even figure out yet. Nobody said what Bethune-Cookman got.
Right. So Bethune was like, hey,
Leave
it was $300,000. I need my $300,000. Y'all deal with. Y'all gonna try to keep the standard at $1 million. So everybody got to sign up for it, and that's the only way it's gonna work. And some people may suffer because of that. I don't know. It may be some fallout because.
What's going? What would we think that would happen? You don't get to play in, you don't get to play in game, or
no,
your neighbor down the street.
Yes.
gets
That
it
part.
because
Bethune,
they took less money.
Bethune won't get their $350,000 because you're demanding $1 million, so we're not gonna deal with you. Because it don't matter. It doesn't matter who we play because we plan on beating the team anyway. So it'll cost us less money to play Bethune versus playing Southern.
Yeah.
And
I can
that's
see that
exactly what
happening.
happened. Oh yeah, unless collectively everybody get together and say this is not right. We got to treat y'all just like we treat Marshall, just like we treat these other schools.
So
yeah,
But
which that's what should happen. Yes,
and that's the thing, right? So FAMU is not going to be concerned about like individually what another school is going to go get. They're only negotiating on their own behalf. That's why I say we need to take it up a level, and this should really be conference level down, helping them, collaborate across schools. I mean, I just don't see schools individually collaborating on. Well, if Central didn't take it, we'll take it. I don't see the schools because they're managing their own schools.
absolutely. I'm telling you,
Their fundraising
and just like you can call, pick the
You
phone.
can't be mad at them about that.
You can pick the phone right now and call Coach Moulton. He'll tell you why. I know, and I ain't seen this schedule yet. Maybe we'll put it up. But every year they're in they're playing. I don't know. They're playing Oklahoma. They're up in Michigan playing a team up there. They're playing a team up in Wisconsin. I'm like, are they going? Because they call those money games, revenue games. Now, are they paying North Carolina Central the same they would play? I don't know. University of Jacksonville, at the same level. Are they paying the same money to them? I don't know, but at some point, you have to weigh whether or not it's benefits to the individual school versus having a standard for the entire conference that everybody has to adhere to, and weigh the differences. I'm telling you, getting the chancellors and presidents to agree on that's almost a nightmare.
So should we? I mean, if a school's cool with 300, why are we all talking about it? Let them take 300.
No,
If they want to be down there and they want to take 300, go ahead and take 300.
yeah, but then, it goes against what you just said. I mean, treat us like you treat everybody else. Some level of equitability across the board.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, I mean, we're making the assumption that everybody wants to be treated. I mean, of course, everybody wants $1 million for it, but some people like you just said, some people go, I'll take $200,000.
Yeah.
And if they want to do that,
$350.
who are we to come in and say, no, you should want more for yourself. You should demand more for yourself.
Well, I mean, that's what Deon is saying. Yeah, and he said, I mean, yeah, we are better than that.
Yeah, but maybe they don't feel like they're better than that.
Well, I mean, that lies the problem. I say you're gonna have some discrepancies between the presidents and the chancellor because what they said is different from what someone else may say.
And I guarantee you he'll talk to that chancellor before he turned it down.
Oh, absolutely. You turned down what?
You did
No,
what?
no, chancellor, we waiting on our $1 million. What? According to who? What Deon told us, we need to wait for our $1 million.
Right.
I'm not sure, and I agree 110% with Deon. But I kind of like the Alabama man, them Deon. It was 389,000. We had to drive 77 miles. That's a pretty good deal. I love to see what A&T deal is coming to do.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You
got
didn't
last
go
year we went to
nowhere.
Auburn. Deon Reese came back past Hudson Smith. G Money, Hump
You didn't go
Day.
anywhere.
Get a little go going on the side and much more. Let's go.